The basement door slammed shut behind Sarah as she tumbled down the wooden stairs, her phone's flashlight beam dancing wildly across moldy walls. Above her, heavy footsteps pounded across the kitchen floor, searching. The thing that had been wearing her husband's face for the past 3 days was getting closer to finding her hiding spot. She pressed herself against the cold concrete wall, trying to control her ragged breathing. The basement reeked of decay and something else, something sweet and wrong that made her stomach churn. Through the thin ceiling, she could hear it moving furniture, overturning chairs, looking for her with methodical patience that was nothing like David's usual frantic energy. The transformation had been gradual at first. David had come home from his business trip to Portland acting slightly off, his smile too wide, his laugh coming a beat too late. She'd attributed it to exhaustion, stress from the merger at his firm. But then she'd noticed his eyes in the bathroom mirror, how they seemed to reflect light like an animal's, and how he'd started eating his steak so rare that blood pooled on his plate. 3 nights ago, she'd woken to find him standing at the foot of their bed, perfectly still, watching her sleep. When she'd asked what was wrong, he'd tilted his head at an impossible angle and said in a voice that was not quite his own, "I'm learning you, Sarah. Learning all your soft places." The footsteps above stopped. Sarah held her breath, counting heartbeats that thundered in her ears. 1, 2, 3. The silence stretched until she began to hope he'd moved to another part of the house. Then she heard the basement door creak open. "Sarah," came David's voice, but wrong, like someone doing a poor impression. "I know you're down there, sweetheart. Come up and we can talk about this. I promise I won't hurt you." She bit her lip to keep from sobbing. The thing's footsteps began descending the stairs, slow and deliberate. Each creak of the old wood sent ice through her veins. She fumbled for her phone, trying to dial 911, but her hands were shaking too badly to hit the right numbers. "I can smell your fear, Sarah. It's delicious, like copper pennies and vanilla." The voice was getting closer. She could see the glow of a flashlight beam sweeping across the basement floor, methodically checking behind the water heater, the storage shelves, the old Christmas decorations. Soon it would reach her corner. Sarah closed her eyes and tried to remember the David she'd married 5 years ago. The man who brought her coffee in bed every Sunday, who cried during sad movies, who was afraid of spiders. That David was gone, replaced by something that wore his skin like an ill-fitting suit. The beam of light swept closer. She could hear its breathing now, wet and labored. Nothing like David's quiet inhales. Whatever was inside him was working hard to maintain the facade, and the effort was showing. "Found you." Sarah's eyes snapped open to find the thing that looked like David standing 3 feet away, its flashlight beam blinding her. Up close, she could see how wrong it all was. David's skin had a waxy, artificial quality, like a department store mannequin. His smile stretched too wide, revealing teeth that seemed sharper than she remembered. "There's my beautiful wife," it said, and David's voice came out slightly distorted, like a recording played at the wrong speed. "You've been hiding from me. That hurts my feelings." Sarah scrambled backward until her spine hit the concrete wall. "What are you? What did you do to David?" The thing tilted its head, considering her question with the detached curiosity of a scientist examining a specimen. "David is still here, Sarah. He's watching from inside, screaming. Would you like to hear him?" For a moment, the creature's expression flickered and she saw a flash of genuine terror in its eyes. David's terror. Her husband was trapped inside his own body, conscious but powerless, while something else pulled the strings. "Please," she whispered. "Let him go." "Oh, but I'm having so much fun learning to be human. David has such interesting memories. Like your wedding night when you whispered that you'd love him forever. Or last Christmas when you told him you wanted to start a family." The thing crouched down to her level, bringing David's face inches from hers. This close, she could see that his pupils were completely dilated, black holes that seemed to go on forever. His breath smelled like rotting meat. "I've been practicing being David for you, Sarah. Watching how he moves, how he talks, how he touches you when you're sleeping. I'm getting quite good at it, don't you think?" Sarah's hand found a piece of broken concrete on the basement floor. Without thinking, she swung it at the creature's head. It connected with a wet thud, and the thing staggered backward, more surprised than hurt. For a split second, David's real voice broke through. "Sarah, run, it's not..." Then the creature regained control, and its face twisted into an expression of rage that was purely inhuman. "That wasn't very nice, Sarah. David is very disappointed in you." She bolted for the stairs, taking them 3 at a time. Behind her, she could hear the thing giving chase, but its movements were clumsy, as if it was still learning how to operate David's body under stress. She burst through the basement door and ran for the front of the house, her bare feet slipping on the hardwood floors. The front door was locked, deadbolted from the inside. She fumbled with the locks, her fingers refusing to cooperate. Behind her, she could hear the basement door slam open and heavy footsteps approaching. "Sarah?" the thing called in David's voice, but now she could hear the wrongness clearly, the subtle electronic distortion that marked it as an imitation. "Where are you going, sweetheart? We have so much to discuss." She finally got the door open and ran into the night, not caring that she was barefoot and wearing only a nightgown. The November air bit into her skin, but she kept running, down the driveway, toward the street, toward help. Behind her, she heard David's voice one more time, but now it was screaming her name in genuine anguish, the real David breaking through for just a moment before being dragged back down into the darkness inside his own mind.